Wam, call halal Yahweh Bahashem, Yahwashi Bahashem, Rakakadash. I want to say double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. All right, to the scattered elect, scattered across the four corners of the world, in their lot in truth and sincerity. Say shalom, and also to the speckled birds, pursuant to Jeremiah 12 and 9. I am disciple of Parium, coming to you with lesson in truth and sincerity. And this is just a quick hit before camp starts here in the afternoon. But this is Numbers 13, 16. And just kind of going into the kind of a breakdown, the name of Yahwashi, and where it kind of comes from. And so, most people in the world know him as Jesus, but the letter J did not exist until 1524 from a man named John Trissino. And so it was, the Greeks actually say Jesus, but we know that to be after the god Serapis Christos, which I've done a small lesson about that. So this is Numbers 13. We'll go down to verse 16. Because the name of Joshua beforehand was Oshea, excuse me. So you see verse 16, it says right here, it says, these are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy out the land. Remember, they were going out to spy the land of Canaan, coming out from Exodus. Okay. And so he ended up choosing Joshua and Caleb. And really, prophetically speaking, that's the northern and southern kingdom. Okay. We know that the other ones that they chose out were not worthy, and they brought a bad report onto Moses, right? And they were smoked, they were killed, right? Because they were lying, they were comfortable, they were set in their lees, and going into the land, because they were so used to being in Egypt and getting all the comforts. And so they were saying that there's these tall people, these sons of Anak, which, that's where they get the whole Anunnaki crap from, right? But no, those were Canaanites, like Manute Bog and all that. These were tall people, but they weren't like massive giants, okay? But anyway, so it says, these are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy out the land. And Moses called Oshea, the son of Nun, Joshua, okay? So when you go into the words, Oshea, first of all, there's a Strong's H 1954, and is Hawashai, okay? And that just means salvation. Now, we know that Joshua was the one who succeeded after Moses into taking the Israelites into the land, to the promised land, and winning many battles afterward, right? And so he only took the Israelites. He didn't take everybody, so it's showing that this promise is only unto Israel. And so who is the salvation for? So now we go back to the reverse linear, Salaki, to that word Joshua, Strong's H 3091, and it's Yahwashi. So now it says Yahweh, here it says Jehovah, but we know that in the Paleo there's no V's, all right, there's no O's, U's, okay, so, and there's no J's. So it's Yahweh is salvation, okay? And he's salvation unto tribe of Israel, okay? Unto the Israelites. It's like it to the people of Israel, not tribe. So let's go read this. And I'm just kind of going off the rip right here, so just kind of bear with me. This is really the first lesson I've really done that's been like that. I've kind of ad-libbed here and there, but mostly I take a lot of notes. And so, I feel more comfortable going to the spirit about this topic because, just researching it and there's much repetition. It's the father of all skills. Let's see. See, look, it's just Moses' successor, afterwards, his successor and the leader of the Israelites. And that's it. Now, I want to go to, let's go to, I believe it's, I want to say it's Acts 7 and 45. Yeah, here we go. I'll start off at verse 44. It says, our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, all right, as he had appointed, speaking unto Moses, that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen. Verse 45, which also our fathers that came after brought in with, well, here it says Jesus. That's funny, because I could have swore that we just said that Joshua was his successor of Moses, right? Anyway, and it says brought in with Jesus into the possession of the Gentiles, whom Yahweh drave out before the face of our fathers into the days of David. Now, we have to ask a question: Did Yahwashi or did Jesus ever come into possession of heathen? Right? And it's not. He never did. He came in lowly as a lamb, right? And he wasn't trying to make war at that time. He was doing the will of the Father, fulfilling prophecy, right? And so, he was that first fruit, the first created spirit here on earth in the flesh. Okay. Now here, when you read the NLT, it says years later when Joshua, now that's correct, led our ancestors in battle against the nations, that God drove out of this land the tabernacles which taken with him in their new territory, and it stayed there until the time of the King David. Now, let's go into this word Jesus right here. And then we'll do the same thing on the NLT so you can see between the difference between Jesus and Joshua, okay? Because I don't want to hide anything, right? It's trying to edify. So when you go to that word Jesus, it's Jesus, because there was no letter J.
Strong's G 2424. Jesus. Jesus.
Right? And it says Yahweh is salvation, but look at this. Of Hebrew origin, Strong's H3091. We just went into this, right? Yahweh is salvation. Yahwashi. And we know that so-called Jesus wasn't Greek. So why are we calling him Jesus when we should be calling him by his Hebrew name, right? So now let's go to this side over here on the NLT, right? You see it where it says Joshua. Joshua, it's going to say the same thing. Jesus, right? Which is, right. But the thing is that we know that, again, we just repeated that there's no, the Jesus is Greek, right? Again, it's of Hebrew origin, the same ding-a-ling right here. Like my mom used to say, inside joke. But it says Joshua or Jehoshua or Yahweh is salvation, okay? So that's what it is. And look at this root word etymology from Strong's. This is the word of the name of the Lord right here. Strong's H3068. Yahweh. That's where it comes from. I mean, the Son's named after the Father. Okay, which if you go to Christianity, they'll just say God and Jesus. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense when we know the word God just goes into the word power, or so. With that, just a quick lesson kind of going into the word, Yahwashi, and how you could kind of link it together between that Numbers 13 and Acts 7 and 45. I pray this lesson was edifying. I'm about to go to camp here in a little bit. So I want to say Kwam Yasharallah, Abba, and Shalom.